this thing is good to go. So today I am building the Creel house, the new Stranger Things Lego set. So should be fun. Planning on building I think 8 bags or so today. Around that. Let me pull this thing up. There's quite a few figures in this one. And there we go. Good. Okay, so starting this set off with the first of the minifigures, Mr. What's-It is going to be the first one. I believe this is a new color hair, a new blonde color, which looks nice. I think both Holly and Mr. What's-It have that color, but there he is. Looks cool with his pocket watch. And yeah, so I think the first instruction manual and the first quite a few bags are just going to be building up the actual Creel house, and then it's on to the 2 side builds, the Squawk van and Steve's BMW. Yeah, starting this one off with a little mailbox. Of course, I guess that. Okay, that's wonderful. Already dropping stuff. There we go. And there we go. There's that. And that. Now a little lamppost, which I guess is a couple other additional side builds to the set. There's quite a few bits in the instruction manual leading up to the actual build itself, but there's the side builds. I will put Mr. What's-It there, and now it's on to the main attraction, the build itself, which there's not enough plates, I don't think, to really get the full width of this set from this first bag, and looks like there's a few plates in 2. So I guess, and there's also some bricks, so I guess this won't be the entire base of the set, just in the first bag. It'll sort of continue on with the others, but yeah, I picked this one up at the Lego store January 2nd. It was the first day any Lego store close to me was open. Made an order on the 1st at midnight, but decided I wanted to pick this one up. Got there around 8 o'clock, I think it was, and they had a decent amount of them for, I don't know, the first maybe 30 or so people that wanted them, maybe even more. But it seemed like it was a pretty long list of them. Yeah, I got the promo, which I'll probably build at the end. Planning on doing another one tomorrow, continuing the build. Yeah, I'm excited to see this one. I think I have a spot for it on my shelves. Just need to take down a couple things. I think I'm going to take down the original Black Pearl, as much as I love that set. Having that newer one. Okay. Where are you? Oh, there we go. Dropping way too much stuff to start this one off. Yeah, a lot of red elements so far, I guess, for the upside down. Yeah, I'm excited for this one, and excited to see it all put together. It should be a pretty cool one, and yeah, there's some cool inclusions in this set. I'm excited to see how the whole function of it separating comes together. That should be interesting. So, all right, this light bluish gray, dark bluish gray, and red element is attached in there. All right, so that's gonna be some make up some interesting building. You're sort of building it. What I'm assuming is the base of it, sort of on its side, which is interesting. And I guess now it's building into the function of the set. I think in this one as well, the trees, just like that original Buyer's House set, the trees, I believe, in this one also play a critical role in the structure and the function of the set, or at least the function. But yeah, that should be interesting. I've seen a few things of it opening up, and it definitely seems interesting. Quite a few red elements so far, I guess, for when it all separates. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this comes together, and if it's sort of built into almost modular sections that sort of connect together, or if it's all connected at once, just because at some point it needs to separate. So interesting to see how that plays out. I did see it built a little bit when I was picking up this one at the Lego store, but I was more focused on actually picking it up and looking around at the store. Alright, I guess this is going to play into a bit of the function of it now. It looked like an impressive set. I quite liked the build when I saw it, just more so. A few of the figures looking at a little bit disappointing, but other than that, it feels like a pretty solid one. Alright. A few more of the red brick building. There's some white, I guess, into the dark blue and white of the house. I think it's relatively easy to take off the boarded parts around the windows to just have the set sort of represent just the regular Creel house, which seems interesting and cool. There certainly seems to be a few different ways that you can display the set, which is fun and interesting. It seems like it's quite there's not a ton of depth to the interior of the build, which seems like the case in quite a few large playset builds. A lack of depth in a lot of those, but I still think seems like there's still a decent amount of spaces. Certainly a lot of stickers in the set, a couple sticker sheets for the build. I'm sure there's a few printed elements as well, which will be interesting to see what those are, because of course there's that one exclusive print that is in that GWP of the rubber chicken, which is kind of cool, as well as some few cool stickers. Nice sticker sheet in that gift with purchase as well. I guess by the looks of it, this part of the build is the stairs up to the porch of the house. I guess by the look of it, I think the door with the rose and the stained glass might be a print, because I don't see it as one of the stickers. So that's kind of cool if that is the case, because I'm assuming that's going to be coming up relatively soon, considering that it's the walkway up to that porch. But yeah. Alright. Some dark bluish gray, some stone bits and some studs to connect all the characters. Certainly quite a few in this set. I was interested to see how many they were going to include when the set was originally rumored and sort of what the set was going to entail and be based off, but wasn't really disappointed by it at all. I thought it looked like an impressive one, just a few cases for a few figures that I wasn't as fond of. But yeah, looks like a fun one and an interesting build so far. It was interesting to build the one section of it upside down or inverted in a way. That was certainly an interesting part so far. Alright, and it looks like these last couple steps are going to be it for bag 1, and then it's on to 2, which by the looks of the image for it, it's a lot of the features in the skeleton of the main building. I like how these sets have included interesting functions into them. Alright. Oh, there it is. Definitely a few. Okay, there's one element here that I don't like the idea that I have an extra of. So I'm gonna go back and check to see. So it wasn't in this section, because this plate certainly is not meant to be here. What about this? I got that. Oh, isn't this? Let's see. Okay, I see where I messed up that one, or didn't place it. But I need to find where exactly these ones went, and why exactly I decided to just pretty much completely skip a few steps. Now these small little guys I think are gonna be alright. Don't really think I need to worry about them too much. Even those pins, I think those are fine. These small elements, I think, are fine. It's just this one little brick that I need to find the place where I didn't get it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, there we go. There it is. Alright. Oh, interesting. Okay, so that separates from that, connects in on itself. Okay. Bag 2. So far in this set, all of these small the small additional part bags have been in paper bags. When I built the Lightning McQueen set, that was all in paper bags. So it seems like it's sort of slowly but surely, they're all coming in the sets. All right, bag number 2. A lot of plates in this one, so I guess either the base or the structure to support the function. By the look of the little image that's given, I'm assuming the skeleton of the function of the build. That's what I would guess by the look of it so far. But I guess once these first sort of initial bags are done, the build will be a bit more interesting, getting into the little details and the actual house itself. But it's been interesting so far to see the functions come into play and how those are built into the build. But yeah, should have some other January 1st streams coming up. Just waiting on my January 1st package, which I think at least part of it is supposed to show up today, and then a few others in some upcoming days at some point. But yeah, a couple Ninjago sets. Probably will stream those. And a couple, got a Marvel set, I think, some Speed Champions, as well as a few things from the last few years to stream that I picked up during any sort of recent sales and such. The Jazz Club modular will be one, and a few other things. Some dark red now being put into the build, and a few snot bricks. Some jumpers. Looks like a few steps later I'll be connecting the rest of it. Actually, this bag looks like it's going to be really quick. There's definitely some large elements included in this one, so I'm sure there's going to be some small elements when it's building up the actual building itself and getting those details. But so far there's definitely been quite a few large elements, and I guess this will build up a lot of the size of the build, which I like the look of the size of it. It didn't seem too big, but just right, and I think I have a good spot for it, so that should be nice, building a larger set and actually having a spot to put it, because it's not necessarily been the case for a few recent ones. Still trying to sort of find a space for the Black Pearl, but yeah, that's one. I think that was definitely my favorite set of the year last year. So far this year, Lightning McQueen. Well, that's only one of two sets I've actually built of the year. but I think this one's definitely going to be pretty close, but I don't know if anything will be able to quite beat the that Lightning McQueen set, which I thought was just amazing, really well done, fun to put together, and I really like the final result of it. I'm interested to see how this part of it clicks into the build, because it looks like it's a lot of the plates or the tiles are sort of at their sides, which will be interesting. I guess that might be a common occurrence throughout the build, is sort of building at a side to get some of the details, which is quite cool and interesting. Alright, so that will go into there. Certainly getting quite a bit of the size of the build. Looks like this is going to now connect in with the rest of it. How does this go in there? Okay. So that sort of slides in there. Oh, cool. Okay, so that is able to, yeah, so this sort of builds up the function of the set. They give you a little top-down image, which I think that looks fine and works well. Cool. Alright. Continuing that now. So yeah, this was definitely the skeleton of the structure. And I would assume that there's really not going to be too much more width-wise of this set. Yeah, I think it's probably just going to be pretty much this flipped, which is nice. I like the size of that. Not too big. Quite a few new Lego rumors the last couple days, and some reveals as well. Really like that Michael Schumacher Ferrari F1 car coming out. Excited for that one. I think that's probably my favorite of the of those upscaled F1 cars so far. Really quite like that one. But a bunch of Star Wars stuff as well. Seems like an interesting summer wave of sets. It seems to function quite well. Really excited for the Ewok Village. The Bounty Hunter Pursuit seems interesting as well. Yeah. Alright, next minifigure of this set, which is going to be Mr. Mike Creel. This looks like sort of a small bag, a lot of plates, which I guess by it's just going to be the flipped side of the to finish off the base of the build. Got a flashlight and a pair of binoculars for Mike. Okay, that's not that way. I can drop here. Now, where did that go? Oh, there one. One thing with these paper bags is trying to make sure you got everything. A bit easier to see it all when it's in the clear plastic bags. Cool torso print on Mike here. I think the face print is also a new one. There's quite a few different new face prints, I believe, in this set, which is nice because I feel like reuse face prints is definitely a very common occurrence with a lot of Lego sets, and it's one thing that I am not all that fond of, because certain characters I feel like just really need them. So I'm happy to see some new face prints with these ones. There is Mike. And yeah, looks like it's just the other side of the base. So I guess after 3, pretty much all of the my goodness, all of the base will be completed, or at least the front side of it. I'm assuming there's a bit more to the depth of the set, or maybe there isn't, and there might not be. It's kind of hard to tell if it is the finish, if it is the end of the base or not, or the depth. Never mind, depth of the set. All right, some 2x6 plates, some green here. I guess maybe differentiating it, just so you know which side is which. I'm assuming you won't be able to really see these green elements. At least I hope you won't be able to. But very similarly built to the other one. I'm assuming how it will work is that you'll sort of be able to pull the trees, because I know there's one on either side, and that will sort of initiate the function. So that'll be interesting, and yeah, should be cool, should be interesting, and excited to see it. One part of the base, or the other attachment for the tree, and then I guess it'll just pretty much slide in there and connect to the rest of it so that it can separate with that function. Green elements and plates. Some dark tan. Quite a few large plates so far in the build. How many pieces is it? 2,593. So I guess a little bit low on the piece count for the price of it, at least for like 10 cents a piece, which definitely isn't the best thing for determining value, but there seems to be quite a few large elements, but I'm sure there'll also be quite a few small ones as well when it gets to the details and the smaller details of the build. Oh, it looks like this is the last few elements before attaching this to the rest of the base, which I assume is the entire width of the set. Cool. A few more green bits. Oh, you don't see this green. I haven't watched too much reviews, at least in detail, but I feel like I don't remember that being mentioned or seeing it in any sort of images for the build, and it feels like something you would see. So I'm assuming it's not present in the final build, but who knows? Because it could be. I did it again. I missed the same location for this brick both times. It's pretty much symmetrical on either side. I did it both times. All right. That go in there. Does that connect at any point? I don't think so. It sort of just slides in there. And I don't think actually, yeah, I think it just sort of, I don't know if this part is necessarily going to be separated. It'll sort of just be those two, I guess. All right. Unless this part sort of just slides out and the others turn. I guess that's the part of the function. But I guess actually it probably will be the entire depth of it. So I guess these brown parts, oh, this one has a little bit more depth to it. But the grays and the dark tans are the floors, and the dark reddish brown, or the reddish brown, is the porch. So get a bit of the flooring in there. Looks like you have an extra set of accessories, an extra flashlight or pieces to make it, and extra set of binoculars. Something is coming, Mike Wheeler. There's a little image of the mind player there. Now that would be a cool build. All right, getting into the actual build, or the actual house build. Notice this is definitely an important part of the house build, the foundation and the structure, which without that would probably just fall apart, so it's certainly important. But yeah, I guess that is the entire width of the set, which seems reasonable. I'm just looking at it in terms of it can actually fit in the place that I wanted this to go, and I think that will be the case. All right, some more water. Bought this water bottle a few days ago. I quite like it. I like the cap to it. Sort of the thing that I saw that I was fond of with it. All right, the dark blue begins, which feels like a interesting choice. They don't really have one, because I feel like the house itself is a little bit lighter, but of course like a teal or something, which is one they have, wouldn't work all that well. So this feels like the best choice for color that they make, but yeah, I guess in this version of it, the sort of rundown version, I feel like the dark blue matches and works better than sort of the lighter blue look that I'm sort of thinking of when Creels first arrive to the house. But yeah, looks like it's starting off with one of the windows, which will be boarded up pretty quick, I assume. Maybe actually a few stickered elements to start off this one. The window frames. And hello. It's an interesting element. I think I've seen it a couple times. Not really used for building as much, though, I don't think. So that's interesting to get some of the detail above the windows. I'm quite well. I'm doing pretty good. How are you? There we go. And the boards for the windows. All right. Now a bit of the interior. I guess some dark green by the looks of it. This definitely feels like a piece that will have a sticker applied to it, so I guess it will be the first of the of quite a few in the build. Not too many. Mike and Mr. What's It so far. This is bag 4, so still quite a few. I think there's like 23 or something like that when I was pouring them all out. First, of the stickers. Alright, that's a decent placement of it. It's not too bad. Alright. Some of the little snot elements to build the walls, I guess, sideways in some way. There's been some interesting techniques so far in the build. And I guess by the looks of it, this will be the entire width and depth of the build. So it's definitely not the biggest thing. I feel like I thought when I did see this built at the Lego store, it seemed a little bit larger, but I guess it will have a decent bit of height to it. But width and depth wise, it's certainly not the largest thing, but you still get looks like about 5 or 6 studs worth of space for any characters. I think there's a few rooms. The interior definitely isn't huge to it and doesn't have a ton of bits to it, but it's starting off with a interesting looking couch build. Interesting how this will be put together. You sort of build a decent bit of it on its side, which is always fun to see and fun to put together. Quite a bit of this when I was building the new Lightning McQueen, quite a bit of sideways building. Alright, the arms of the couch. That's a nice build. It's pretty cool. I like how that's built. Here's the little couch build. Certainly it's interesting to put together. It wasn't just sort of basic bricks on top of bricks. There was some interesting techniques that went into it, which so far seems to be like it's going to be a case throughout quite a bit of the build. I guess this is the living room of the house, with now the coffee table. medium nougat, the coffee table is all put in there. I like how that's built. It's kind of interesting and cool. All right, the next sticker 21, newspaper. From the Hawkins Post. Local teens rescue principal from tragic tumble, with a picture of the Creel house. There is the little Hawkins Post newspaper, which just goes on to the table, and there we go. All right, one more little table build. I love all these little accessories. Making the minifigure size accessories is always one of my favorite parts of building these, any sort of house build. The Winter Village line, I think, does a really good job of it, and this one's doing a good job of it so far. I really like that couch build in this little living room set. Certainly small, but kind of cool looking nonetheless. Well, lamp build. This unprinted gold minifigure head. And to finish this section, this bag off, some the other wall on the other side of the build. Makes more sense. Actually works and operates properly. Alright, some Technic pins for later. Connect this whole room together. Ooh, now this is kind of fun. To get the angle of it, you get to build a bit on an angle. That's always fun to do. Very cool. I guess just starting with it, or there might be a window in there to build in the next section of the build. That's cool. These new or newer sloped triangular elements are used to really get that angle properly, but they also you get that white striping up the side of it, which is interesting and cool. That's definitely a cool feature of it. That's a nice, I like how that's built so far. All right, bag 5. Nice little figure and character of the build. Oh, and it is printed. Yeah, this is quite nice. I think this is going to be ending up being probably my favorite print of the set. The moment I saw this, I've loved stained glass for so long, and been a big influence on me. And when I saw the stained glass in the Creel house, I thought it was just so cool and really quite nice. So I'm really happy that that's a print, and it looks really nice. All right, bag 5. The next minifigure, which is probably the first one of ones that I'm not all that fond of. I feel like it could have been a little bit better. Is Robin. He's got a brick which I guess makes this set sort of a mix of seasons, but good. All right. Next figure. She's got pair of headphones. Yeah, I just feel like this face print and hairpiece doesn't work the best. But all right, there is Robin. All right, continuing the dark blue from of the walls, which I guess this will get into the door. And by the look of it, the door, well, I guess it has to, is just going to be built up instead of just one door element. It will be built up, which is interesting and cool, and yeah. Yeah, after this stream's over, I have some work to get to, but one thing I am working on that I'm excited for is the new set of Bricklink Designer Program sets. I'm working on one for that, and actually two, but it's pretty much all done, ready to go. I just need to sort of render a few images and make them look pretty, but I don't think it's for old. It's 19th, I think, is when it opens up, but definitely get ahead of it there, get everything ready to go. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do a video for that. Definitely would like it to get chosen. I'm doing a medieval one, a bit of a smaller one, is sort of my goal of it, that I realize now, putting it together. Should get a move on with it. All right. Oh, so it is connected. It won't come up there. Cool. Where are you? Dark reddish brown. I think I'm blind. There we go. That was relatively easy to find. But yeah, I realized I should, while I'm working on it, maybe show my progress of it, even though at this point it's all designed. It's sort of just making it look pretty. But yeah, this is the start of the door. Very excited for this. I think this will be one of my favorite sections of the build, just because of just how much I love this, the door from season 4. It just always stuck to me as such a cool look and design. Yeah, it was probably this probably is one of my favorite, except for maybe the Starcourt Mall, probably one of my favorite settings of the show. I loved seeing its progression throughout the show, the Creels arriving to it, and then by the end of season 4 in both the Upside Down and the rest of the world, but that stained glass rose around the door, that was quite cool and very interesting. Some sand green walls and a little seating area. Oh, that's cool. You can see you can see a bit of the upside down behind the when it separates, but behind the sand blue or the sand green wall. Next little accessory is a telephone. I think instead of 8, I'll finish it at 7. For the fun of it being the 7th. And the common number of 7 appearing throughout the show quite a bit. All right, there is the phone. It's hard to pull towards you when you pull in this section and you have it sort of separating out. Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't realize that was all sort of connected. So when you move this, it all moves. That's cool. I don't know why I didn't test that at that point, but didn't. All right, another lamp build. That's another nice little bit of accessories. And here's the door. I think I might put together a review for this set. Just being quite excited for it, and I think the final result will look really nice. And maybe it'll just be a video of 10 minutes discussing how much I like the door. Certainly would make it a different review than others. Alright, here is the door with that very nice printed element. And that just clicks in there and can rotate easily, nicely, and smoothly. All right, a bit more sand green to continue that design for the walls. I guess this one just is regular straight wall, not with a little crack in it like the other one. I guess that'll be a common occurrence throughout quite a bit of the build. Will be little cracks in the wall where you can see the upside down, which is kind of a cool addition to the build. All right, that just goes in there. Not where I was trying to put it. Okay. This brick on top to connect everything together. Some plates on top of that. Flip it around. And getting that white detailing around the door. Wonderful low printed element. Very happy that that's print. Out of all the details in the set, I think that one was the most important for me to be a print. Just how much I love that stained glass rose. structure so that the actual function's able to operate smoothly down the line. Oh. I see. There we go. And there we go. Okay, 1 second. 1 second. I did something. Because I have 2 pieces. Seems to keep happening. That's where that one goes. But what about this one? Where did the 1x3 tiles in reddish brown go in this build? Oh, they're there. It's just the it's the parts to board up the windows. Cool. All right. 6. The killer cops are using Lego ice cream cone elements, perhaps leftovers from Streets of War. Cool. I'd love to see that in the build. And it looks like it'll be the first hit of some of the roof elements of the build. All right, 4 of these pillars. All right. Some candlestick pieces and some ice cream cone pieces. Some interesting parts being used, and some upside down building to that, which is always fun. Assuming there's going to be quite a few more of these throughout the build, which is probably why it's sort of split up in the way it is, so that you don't have to do 8 or even more of these pillars at once. Sort of spread them throughout the build. Makes sense for just a nice building experience. Studs. And 1 more. There. And there. Okay. 1 there. 1 there. And then they're separated by a stud each. Those look really nice. I like the depth of the porch, and I think the exterior of the build is definitely a bit more important to me in terms of display than the interior of it. So I really quite like the depth of the porch, which I think is going to lead to a overall nice look and nice design. All right, some cheese slopes. Hello. I always love how these plates line up with cheese slopes. They do a nice job of that. So I guess each of the two sides of the build are separated by their sort of structure colors. This side with red and the other with green. That all looks fine. Cool. All right, and same idea as the last section for this roof element, just a little bit larger. I've enjoyed the build experience so far. It's been interesting. It's had some interesting techniques, and yeah, it's been an interesting building to put together. Certainly been a fun build experience so far. I've enjoyed it. I think I'm going to do one more bag, which will end with another character, Will, by the looks of it, which it was interesting that when this set leaked, it was interesting how you could see in the eyes of the image how Will had his powers. But of course, at that point, you really didn't know what that entailed. But it was interesting. A few of the details in the Lego set have been important plot points and details throughout the show, like the drawing in the Squawk GWP on the window, or the window or the glass, and yeah, there were just a few interesting details throughout the set that are sort of important parts from the season. Excited to get off this and see what all the episode 9 conformity gate stuff is. It's been fun to follow along with that and how stupid it is. But yeah, it's been fun to follow along with it. All right, another of the roof elements supported by those pillars. Make sure those are all nice and lined up. That looks nice. Cool. Yeah, I quite like the depth of this porch area, as well as it looks like some nice depth around the doorway as well. Oh, one more. I was wondering where those other candlestick pieces are, and now did I not take them all in? Or what? Well, there's one part. Unless. Okay, well, I'm gonna need to. Gonna need to find where this guy went. Because this is sort of important to the next few steps. Where exactly I can find this other candlestick element. certainly plays an important role in the build. All right. Bag 6. Well, I don't see a little candlestick, and I don't think there's any more small bag 6s. All right, well, that's fun. This certainly is somewhat important, quite important, really. All right, I'll just continue from here and okay, let's see. I don't see this other white candlestick piece. All right. Yeah, that plays an important role in it. All right, well, I think I was going to go for 7 for this one, so it's gonna probably cut it short. But tomorrow I'll pick up the build again, which was always the plan, just a bag short. Or at least get started. See how far I get. White candlestick pieces. I think I should have a few somewhere. But the next character in this build is going to be Will Byers. I guess this section of the build starts the trees, but yeah, bag 7. Bit of a different flashlight build than the one that was for Mike. All right, there is 4 figures of quite a few. I don't even know exactly the count. This is an interesting color, the nougat, for the bike. All right. And yeah, okay, I think that's going to be about it for today. I will find my white candlestick pieces and hopefully finish this off. But yeah, we'll continue this tomorrow around the same time. But yeah, thanks for anybody popped in the stream, watched it, and watched it later. It's a fun build so far. Some cool techniques, some cool characters, and yeah, excited to finish it up because it's certainly been a fun one so far. Really like that printed stained glass piece for the roses. But here it is after 6 bags. It comes apart. That function works very well. And yeah, see you on the next one tomorrow.